Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of the 3 to Pass podcast with a name that is yet to come. I'm Caleb.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Dylan.
And we're 3 to Pass. Not out your ass.
Not out your ass.
Shout out to Dylan. A lot's happened lately in the Cardfight Vanguard world. In English, we're finally getting set 7 in 10 days.
Yay.
We got a premium ban list. We didn't get a decent standard ban list. Japan kind of got an okay one. We're going to go over all that.
It seems like things that are like not that bothering. Why is that the case? Where sometimes you'll see like a ban in Japan. Like, for example, Caleb, isn't there a ban in Japan where it didn't even like affect you? Well, it was
actually the one that just happened. So everyone knows Levi-Dross needs to be banned. It's like one of the most oppressive decks ever made. That's from a player of Levi-Dross. I don't even like playing it sometimes because it doesn't feel fair.
It makes me sad.
Love the card though, but they hit a grade 3 card in the deck called Charmnet. At the end of the battle, it attacks. Well, when it attacks, you can retire a rear guard, give itself 10k, and after the battle, retire itself and draw. Okay. That card is at 4, and it can call itself from the drop zone for a Soul Blast if you don't have another copy of it on board. They hit it to 2. But here's the thing. That wasn't the card they needed to hit.
Yeah, really.
That card didn't do anything. In my Levi-Dross deck, the one you guys have all been playing and hate, it only ever ran 2 to begin with. So that hit does not even affect my deck list at all. And as a matter of fact, I think if you ran 4 of that card, I think you'll find that your hand actually gets clogged with grade 3s.
I actually have a funny story to plug in here as well. We recently went to the... Where was it? Orlando BCS? It was Tampa. We recently went to the Tampa BCS here, and I drove all the way up to Tampa and left my decks at home. So I ended up playing Caleb's Levi-Dross deck in BCS with the exact build with 2 of that card that's now already restricted down to 2. And even with running that at 2, and then the Levi-Dross is in deck, I got clogged a lot with grade 3s. And I know what he's going to segue into as well. And I really think she was not the problem in that deck. You want to know what card is the problem in the deck where every time I saw it, I was just like, damn, I don't know how to play this deck, but boy, I like this card? That damn grade 2 bug-looking bitch.
On-fallen Nadagaster.
Yeah, Nadagaster. A Soikea deck should not be able to stack the deck. No.
For anyone who doesn't know On-fallen Nadagaster's skill, which I'm guessing you will, but I'll pull it up here, he is... When he's placed on rearguard, you can Energy Blast 3. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Add one of them to your hand, and put the other one on the top or bottom of your deck. The only requirement is to have an Infinity Eyes marker in the same column, whether it's on your field or theirs.
Okay, well, that's
And
really
when he does it, he gets 5k. That's his first skill.
He has more.
What grade is he?
He's a grade 2.
Bro, bushy roll man with it.
His second skill, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Levi-Dross, and there's 3 or more of your Infinity Eyes markers, could be on your field or theirs, he gets another 5k, and he can attack from the back row if he's the only one with the same name.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Honestly, if it was just, if there are 3 total, like, Infinity Eye markers, he can attack in the back row and get 5k. That would have been okay. Why they gotta give him a whole other line of text? Make that a different rear guard, please.
Stacking the deck is dumb.
He pluses your hand, too.
And there's no restriction. It's not when placed on hand. And Levi-Dross can call a full field from the drop. We have Hooli. If you have $1 million, there's the Dual Nation card.
Yeah.
If you're balling on a budget, there's Spiritual Body Condensation. Any other Stoikea order that revives from the drop. You already just run 4 of the card. That card should have gotten hit to 1 or 2. If you don't want to kill the deck, hit it to 2, but it should have gotten hit.
Seriously?
That card is very strong.
It should got hit by a friggin' bus going 100 miles an hour or something, man. I swear, the guy who does the Levi-Dross abilities, I don't know if there's like a section of that in Bushiroad Capital, but he's a big man. He doesn't want anyone to touch him.
Probably has a private office.
There's 3 other... Let's just finish up with Levi-Dross, because we're going to talk about that for a while. There's 3 other hits that I think could have made Levi-Dross much fairer. That's one of them. I think the first one that should have just been done, if he wants to keep all of his cards without banning all of them, but make the deck fair, Levi-Dross Imperio, the new Levi-Dross, and I'll throw this shit in there with Rezael and Varga. Varga doesn't do it, but Rezael to any of these decks, If you're running a new card like Levy Dross Imperio, where that card is designed to get the skill of the cards below it, you shouldn't be able to put that card in the ride deck. What people do is they ride deck Levy Dross Imperio because he gets 3 markers a turn instead of 2, and if you do your Divine Skill, you get 5 markers on your first grade 3 turn if you went second.
Oh, yeah.
And all you have to do is put a Levy Dross from your hand to the soul, which is extremely easy because you can draw into it. The new Panther searches the top 7 and adds it. The grade 2 from the ride deck looks at the top 5 and adds any card to your hand.
Let's talk about how that's nuts.
They just gotta make Imperio a mask.
Now,
that way he can't be in the ride line.
If you couldn't have Imperio in the ride line, on your first grade 3 turn, you could only get 4 attacks, unless you went second to Divine Skill, because a Nadagaster would not have 3 markers, and just a bunch of other cards, too, would get much less power. Hooli wouldn't get 10k anytime she revives anything.
That's true.
The deck would be so much slower. It'd be a turn 4 deck.
And it would keep management of the deck more bearable for the person playing against it, because right now they can already just put an overwhelming amount of Infinity Eyes markers on your field before you even get the chance to retaliate. So then you just never have a good rearguard swing, literally ever. They're always going to be up on you because they're drawing cards and negating your attacks. Yeah. But if it was just restricted, at least there's going to be less markers because less attacks.
You guys played my Levy Dross deck before Imperio became a card, and it was much more fun to fight, I'm sure, than when this card came out.
Another thing is these damn Infinity Eye markers, bro. It's like, oh my! Anyone can agree. I'm beating a dead horse here, but 10,000 power and draw a card.
Find me the name of the crackhead who made that.
Dude, it should either be one or the other, or
it shouldn't even be one or the other. I think you should just -10, and that's fair. Not draw a card. Fuck that.
If anything, -5 would have been fine.
I would have been okay with just -5. That honestly blocks most rear guards.
Or just make it inconvenient that it's on their field.
Because it's so... ability. Sometimes I'll be playing the deck. Someone will swing at me with like 33k column. I'll be like, cool, Infinity Eyes marker. It's 23. Sick, I drew a trigger. I'll guard it. I did not lose a single card I already had in my hand and you just lost your whole attack.
Wild.
Or, hey, I drew a perfect guard. Now I can guard your Vanguard.
This is absolutely wild.
And the thing is, too... If they're swinging with a card and it's less than 23, you may as well not even swing with it because he's going to do the marker.
Exactly.
You're going to be less than his Vanguard and draw a card.
It really does mix up your style of play because you have to play around these damn Infinity Eye markers.
It does.
And I get a question. Does it go to the circle or under a unit?
It goes to the circle.
That sucks.
Yep.
And what's crazy is if it's not many decks play off boosting. Let's be real. Boosting kind of doesn't matter since you can't boost over a 10k trigger. But if you attack with a unit with an Infinity Eyes marker and you boost it with a unit that has an Infinity Eyes marker, you can do both markers, draw 2, and give -20 to the column. That is stupid. That is beyond stupid.
That makes me want to kill myself.
Oh god, don't do that. Damn, bro. Should we shout out Marco? He got pretty high on Tampa.
Yeah, but what did he lose to? No, he should have won. He got robbed. For those who don't know, he may actually be listening. Marco is our friend over on the Vanbros channel. Shout out to them. He plays Luard, and he got top 32.
Yeah.
He got top 32 playing Luard in BCS Orlando in Tampa. Unfortunately, he did lose to a Miracle Heal to Levy Dross. And a pretty clutch over trigger on the Squirrel, too.
Yeah, it went from a 6 damage heal into the opponent hitting the over trigger on a restanding rearguard.
But we're happy for him. He got top 32 with his favorite deck in the game. So shout out to him.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
Shout out to him.
He, like many others, may now have a deep-seated resentment towards Levy Dross.
Listen, I felt like I stepped into the wrong gang when I rolled up to BCS, and I had to be one of the Levy Dross players out of 200. Everywhere there was Levy Dross. Everywhere I looked.
Absolutely.
I almost felt bad just being there. Honestly, I had maybe 2 hours to learn how to play the deck. It is not hard.
I swear to God, I would run into Vargas, Raziel's, Levy Dross's, and anyone else that just had any deck that they liked. I'm like, you're just happy to be here, aren't you?
Yeah, those are the big three. and Bat.
I played this deck. I saw a guy playing Borrow Magnus, and I was like, I love you, man. And then who? I mean, I saw
that guy.
I saw just people playing decks that are never even focused on it. I'm just like, you're just a happy fella, aren't you?
You're just happy to be playing the game, and shout out to them.
And really. Screw you to everybody who played the bat. I hate that deck.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. That was crazy, dude.
That deck is a toxic thing for this game, but that's a whole nother video to bitch about.
When we first started talking about going to BCS, like a year before, because they announced these things so early, when set 4 Levy Drops was revealed and Imperial wasn't a thing, Levy Drops only had so much support that he couldn't fill his own deck. You had to play other cards. And I think that was the funnest time I ever had with the deck. And I really wanted to take it to BCS, because I was like, this is cool. It's a cool mechanic. You can build it in so many fun ways. It's a Divine Skill deck. It's current. I really want to take Levy Drops. It's so cool. And then we get Levy Drops Imperio, and there's just Squirrel in that grade 3 card that they made that cracked the deck, and then everyone played it.
I apologize.
You want me to explain Squirrel to you?
Thank you.
Okay, I have Squirrel right here.
Okay.
And if we're going to segue to Squirrel, this is the next card that should have got limited to 1. I'll admit, when I first read this card, I actually thought it was so bad because I did not understand the way that it worked. Mm-hmm. It's rear guard once per turn. At the end of the battle that it boosts, Soul Blast 1, move it to an open back row rear guard. If you moved it to a rear guard with an Infinity Eyes marker, stand it, and it gets plus 5k. Now, I think that card should have gotten limited to 1 or 2 because of the next card that I think should have gotten limited to 1 or 2 that makes that card broken. This is Full Knowledge Foxhole. It has 2 skills. It gains power if it boosts Levy Drops, 5k. If it boosts Levy Drops, you have an Infinity Eyes marker, plus 2k. So it's a 28k column already if you're boosting Levy Drops behind the Vanguard. That's a magic number column.
Yes.
And then it has this skill. If your opponent's rear guard has an Infinity Eyes marker on it, just one, doesn't have to be 2, doesn't have to be 3. They don't have to be grade 3. He just has to boost Levy Drops. Counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards. It gets 10k and can attack from the back.
Oh my god.
Any rear guard.
And then you pick the Squirrel.
You pick the Squirrel, and in a perfect world, you get a critical trigger or something, or an over trigger, and you may give the crit to the front row, but all the power to the Squirrel. So that Squirrel can boost plus power. Soul Blast 1, move to an open rear guard. It still has the skill that it can attack from the back and then swing from the back.
Bro.
So what people do, and this is actually what happened to Marco. He didn't lose that turn, but it did happen. Attack with Levy Drops, 28, 38, 43, depending if you Divine Skilled a stupid number. Counterblast 1, the Squirrel can attack from the back. Flip the over trigger. 100 million to the Squirrel. Boost a column for 100 million. Soul Blast 1, move the Squirrel, stand it. Swing from the back for 100 million.
Jeez.
I think a Natagaster, Foxhill, or the Squirrel, or a combination of all 3, should have been either banned, restricted, or semi-limited.
I agree.
And Imperio should be out of the ride deck. Just out.
That's one of those things where it's like, or you know what? Or you could choice restrict.
Or you could choice restrict.
You could just use the Squirrel if you want, but you just can't run that other one.
Foxhole. When they would never get rid of Foxhole.
Foxhole makes the deck. Foxhole's what makes it a 5 attack deck.
Alright, we'll just get rid of the Squirrel.
A Natagaster makes it a 4 attack deck.
Choice restrict. Alright, so...
But the thing is that the fucking Natagaster empowers that. It's like the trifecta, because he stacks the damn trigger on top.
He does.
How do you guys feel about when they took away like the whole grade 3 abilities, where it was like your opponent has to be a grade 3?
I feel, and I think this is recent. I really have said this to like anyone when we talk about the state of the game. I think when Divines became the new format, they kind of just threw your opponent has to be a grade 3 out the window.
Yeah.
I think when Divines came, they really didn't care if it was more of a going first meta, which it is. Now they're making decks that pop off a little bit more turn 4, or at least they're supposed to. But still, they don't care if you go first. Like Varga can really stand when you're on grade 2. Levy Dross gets 5k on grade 2. If Rezael really wanted to, he could Divine Skill you on grade 2 and still get like 3 to 4 attacks. Mm-hmm. But to answer your question, Dylan, it's too late to go back now, but I do think a lot of those cards needed your opponent to be at grade 3 for the health of the game.
I also agree with that. I think when all the decks had that very same limitation of their first grade 3 turn being anticlimactic, and you wanting to go second to try to get like your first grade 3 turn to be good, that was a good healthy thing, because it's like you're trading off being able to Persona ride first as opposed to getting a good first grade 3 turn. Now it's like you're Persona riding first and you get to dominate your opponent, which is just not healthy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Not only that first grade 3 turn, that first Persona ride is no joke. Usually your first Persona ride is the final turn of the game.
Yeah, and this is what happened to Premium, where it got so bad with people going first, they had to start adding all this other shit into the game to try to fix the problem, like quick shields.
Hey, what do we have now? Persona shields.
Persona shields. Guardian. Oh my god, you're right. Guardian shields. But yeah, exactly. So now, segueing into this, there's Persona shield tickets, which is pretty much just something that's trying to fix the problem that they themselves have created.
Right.
Bunch of goofballs.
That's how Premium felt. The heels, that was like trying to reconcile it. They have 2 tickets, one for harmonics and just a normal one.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I felt like Premium, I almost need to get bigger deck boxes for all my decks because my extra token cards and all that are starting to become just as big as my deck.
Yeah.
With Office, I had a 16 card G zone, 3 plants, a quick shield, a guardian shield, Excel markers.
Not to mention, you got to buy a more expensive deck box.
Yeah.
Because it has to be big now.
It has to be big.
It has to be big now.
I can't tell you the last time I bought an Ultra Pro deck box because they don't fit my shit anymore.
No way.
I'm very thankful that a double sleeve standard deck without tokens will fit perfectly in a little Ultra Pro deck box.
You just got to make sure when you take it out, you kind of clank it on the table a little bit because they get
clanker.
stuck together.
I always do the clanker so they fit perfectly. Barrow won't fit because he has 2 tokens more than what the deck will fit. So he's got a bigger deck box.
Andra fits because no tokens, nothing, just...
this reminds me, Lascaria's not going to fit anymore because I'm going to have to get Persona Shield tickets. Damn it.
Anything anything we can focus on in set 7?
I think there is, but let's talk a little bit more about the ban list because there's one more thing we didn't go over, and it's something I've been very vocal about. Rezael and the dog got choice restricted for Japan only in standard, where you cannot run the original Rezael with that fucking dog surrounding this part of the Keter pile. I think in my heart of hearts, that dog in every deck just needs to be hit to 1 or banned. Because what's going to happen next? We're going to get Youth Burke. It's going to run the Keter pile. It's probably going to be broken. Maybe not as broken as Rezael and Luard because he can't loop the card. But it's going to be broken. It's not a fun way to build the deck when 12 out of the cards in your 50 card deck, minus 4 perfect cards, minus 17 triggers, minus 3 Persona Ride, are the same as every other Keter deck.
Yeah, guys, tell us how you feel about that. Having to run these staples and kind of just
I personally try to deter as far away from the Keter package as humanly possible. I hate it, and I would have been happy if that dog just straight up got banned out of the fucking game or limited to 1. Well, no, because then they could still abuse that shit.
Yeah, but 1 is fine. 1 is...
No, because Rezael and Lord could still loop it.
Well, it's still... In the perfect world, it would still be choice restricted. But at least they're looping 1 per turn.
Plus, if you damage it...
The reason it got banned in Luard is because Luard puts 2 normal units back to the deck, and then Superior calls 2 grade 1s. So you literally just put 2 back and call 2.
Yeah, but he gets still looping 1s crazy. I think he just needs to be banned. That dog is not healthy for the game.
That, or he just not even going to the soul because you just soul blast him. He has to bind himself.
Oh, yeah.
The dog binds himself?
No, he needs to. He goes to the drop zone.
Oh. Literally, that's all they had to do.
They could literally just errata it to say remove from game.
Yep.
If they did that, yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Not even bind, just literally throw it in the trash.
You know they're not afraid of making cards errata. They've released an entire set in premium and said it was new support. So.
Oh, well, it's time to get started on us not getting premium support.
Oh, yeah,
but I guess while we're on the subject of the ban list, how do you guys feel about the premium ban list?
I'm very happy. Well, listen. I bought 4 Mazer Gear Dragons for Chrono Jet. They don't mean anything.
You may have seen the short.
You might have seen the short. They don't mean anything now. They're sitting pretty in my binder. But you know what? Overall, I'm happy that they were removed because it felt very unfair to play a Crest deck, and I know it was just going to get way more out of hand. I was saying for months that when Harry got his Crest in Premium, he was going to become the top tier deck, and a Cell deck should not be able to have Crests. That is insane. So I'm glad they did the ban while they did before it started to get out of hand and we got more Cell decks, because even not just him, Nine Rose is freaking nuts by herself. And I think it's great that the Crests got removed, and it also helps me go back to having originality and what I can build in my deck. I already bought more cards to fill the fucking spots in the premium deck, so I'm happy. And aside from that, the what's the Nubatama guy's name?
Mizukaze. Oh, Mizukaze, yeah.
I played the Mizukaze build because it was such a dirty feeling playing a deck you really liked and just knowing there was a better version of it, no matter what you did. I liked playing Dominate with a little bit of hand discard Shiranui.
Yeah.
I like that one card that like called from the hand and it made the opponent call their cards from the hand. I had to take that out because it was just like it was so easily played around, and there was just a better way to do it with Mizukaze. So with Mizukaze and the things that made him broken gone, like Sumakoran and all that, I'm happy they're gone too because it makes the deck that I liked before like back to being able to be built in a way where you're not going to be sitting there with that feeling like, man, this deck's cool, but there's literally just an infinitely better version of a deck I really like.
Right.
And it sucks when that's like
it does suck when that happens.
So now, I'm glad that shit's gone. And I played it against my friends. Nobody had fun playing it. I didn't have fun playing it myself. It was very brain dead because it was so easy to do. You could just kill people with no effort with Mizukaze. So I'm glad that's gone. Moving on to more of my cards that also got banned while we're on the subject. Gurdor's Stride needed to get banned. I don't play Darkface that much, but I'm happy that card is getting banned down to 1. I think it needs to be banned down to 0, personally. That card is stupid, it's unfair, there's no card in the game that should make it to where your opponent can't use their Vanguard. Delete was okay back in the day, but you could re-ride on that shit. This was just like, you ride and you're still riding at rest. It's stupid.
Speaking of things that they haven't brought back, wouldn't it be interesting if Levy Draws, instead of doing that stuff where he like takes 100, what if he just stunned the unit?
And he's a bug. Why doesn't he just stun
Levy
the
Draw
unit?
should have just stunned them.
Levy Draw should have just made cradle markers.
Yeah, they really... Yeah, if cradle markers didn't come in V, that would have just been Levy Drops and it would have been good. It would have been good. It would have been kind of broken, but it still have been so fair compared to what we got.
Cradle markers were fun.
What were cradle markers again?
They put it on... I believe it's the rear guard.
Yes.
And the rear guard loses its abilities and gets minus power by its own base power. So basically it becomes a dud card on the field. And when it gets retired, the person who put the cradle marker searches their deck for a card with the same grade as the card retired and adds it to their hand. So they basically just have to replace.
I hate them both, but
cradle markers were more fair. It sounds stupid and just like. In theory, it sounds broken, but it's really not. Cradle markers were much more fair. There was much more limitations on cards that could play them strategically.
And but could you like spew them out as efficiently as Levy Draws?
No, it was maybe like 1 or 2.
Okay,
you could never get 5 out at one time.
All right, well then, yeah, it does sound a lot better.
And one of the best cards that do it, you had to ride, and there's no ride deck, so you have to hope you rode it just to get the free marker. Other ones were like Counterblast 1 or whatever, but even the best card that puts cradle markers on things had to retire itself to do it. So it's like, and that's before it attacks. So and that with that, it's just like, I don't know, it's more balanced.
Yeah.
Cradle markers were fine, and I think if Levy Draws had that, he wouldn't be as bullshit.
Yeah.
But what other cards did I play that got banned? Reverence Rush Dragon. I ran 1 copy in my deck just because I was like, whatever, in Bluish Flames. Fuck that card. It was very unhealthy for the format. I just put it in because I had 1 space left over and I didn't know what to put in. I took that thing out immediately. I thought
that one stacks the deck.
It's the one that puts a grade 3 on top of the deck in a format where the grade 3s are heal triggers.
Wait a second. Is that banned in a certain deck?
It's banned completely.
That's crazy because Marco was literally just using it the other day before the ban list. So cool. I won't have to deal with that again. Because that's what he was doing in the Ward. He would literally take the heal and just put it on top.
Oh no, he was using that grade 1 though. Right?
Oh,
the grade 1 where it's
so he wasn't using that one?
It's like a grade 1 where you reveal 3 grade 3s and put a heal on top of the deck.
Oh crap. I still have to deal with it.
It's still the same scenario. A little bit more loops to jump through. Not too difficult in a Stride deck, honestly, because you're going to have grade 3s to discard anyway.
Yeah.
But it's there. I appreciate that one's a little bit more effort than what was Reverence Rush Dragon on play Soul Blast 1. That was easy.
Yeah.
And that deck... Well, not the deck. That card was stupid. I didn't like it, and I think it was just making Premium a more toxic format than it already was. And we do not need that because Premium's already pretty fucked.
Oh my gosh!
But they did a big hit to fixing it, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to go this hard on it.
I wasn't either.
Hey, if we just got support and energy, we might be in a really good spot.
Yeah, but moving through the ban list, I think that's everything that hit my decks. So.
Yeah, I just play Harry, and then
Yeah.
But I don't have the freaking Crestmakers. I just have the one copy. So
let's be thankful that it came up before you were like, let me upgrade Harry Premium.
Honestly, bro, we went to a freaking tournament in Lakeland, and I was so hyped, man. I was loving Premium, but after playing some of like the meta decks, I'm just like, this is so dumb, bro. Everything was Excel, and it was just like an onslaught of attacks. Oh, and then a really dumb deck was freaking Angel Gize.
Oh yeah, that's the most degenerate shit.
Oh my god, the guy who fought me there, I saw him at BCS, and I went, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you again." He goes, "I don't remember you. You just another loss to me."
Did he really say that?
No, it was a joke, but no.
Dude, I had some fun at that tournament though. There's a guy I fought at the last round that I actually sat my first round at Tampa for Premium. I won and then scooped because I was afraid that if you scooped as soon as you flipped the Vanguard, the judge would take the promo back. I didn't know they couldn't do that, so I won my round and then I scooped. But I sat next to the person who played Neonectar, who you timed out. And then I was also 2 tables away from the guy I fought in the last round of that Lakeland tournament, who played Bermuda, and I think he was still playing Bermuda, and he was really cool.
There were a lot of people from both tournaments there.
Yeah, oh for sure.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not surprised though, because Tampa, Florida. It's nice. It's back in Florida.
Yeah, that's true.
That's really cool.
Did we just get doxxed?
No, Florida is one of the biggest Vanguard communities.
We have Kingslayer in Miami. They're doing a lot.
Yeah, and they're very big on like the promoting of Vanguard. So
and we have 3 to pass in Naples.
that's true. Who's that?
Another thing about Premium that really how do you guys feel about History Collection?
Should we make that another video? Do we have time?
I think we're only at 28 minutes. I think we have time. I actually don't entirely hate History Collection. Now, it did make Going First too good, but here's what History Collection did.
Going First Collection?
Going First Collection. If you had the Strider Grade 3 and then the History Collection Stride, truly that was all you needed. It's not like you needed a crazy engine or anything or all these support cards to make your work. Like, I can't tell you the amount of variations and fine-tuning I put my Thavis deck through to get it to the point where it is now. And I don't think I've ever had so much fun building a deck, like building that Thavis deck, because all you really needed to make it good and playable was Thavis or whatever G unit you have and the History Collection Stride, and you just build your deck around that.
I have a different perspective. I at first really liked History Collection because it brought Time Leap back into the scene. Before, you couldn't get enough force markers to make anything you Time Leap viable to hit the Vanguard, but the History Collection splits your columns to where any kind of combo you do makes it to where it's going to hit. And it made my favorite version of Chrono Jet playable again, which I was really thankful for. But on the same spectrum, all it did was take those 24 specific decks and push them miles above everything else. Unless you're playing like one of the most top tier decks, if it's not a History Collection deck, it's sadly just not going to be on par. And that's just, to me, that's just unfortunate because as a person with many decks, a lot of them aren't that good. Some of them are just jank shit. Like, I literally built Glendios, so it's not good. I felt bad about it still. But, I mean, back in the day, he was good. He's not good anymore.
You make a good point, though, because like there's not even an engine you could run to then make your deck better. You have to run one of the OG ones.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I honestly think what should have happened, and like I appreciate they want to bring value to the old cards and have them be clan specific. I think that the History Collection in general should have been a Cry Elemental, and it should have been available to everybody, and it should have just been like, when you stride this card, you get 2 markers of whatever the marker your Vanguard can make is. And
if you don't already have a marker.
If you don't already have it. And if it was a Cry Elemental, just like that, it would have been perfect, because every deck would have been on par with each other, but all it did was make the Striders so much stronger than all the other decks.
And they still would have been the best decks, but then you could at least play other decks.
But at least you could have had value in playing your other decks you liked. And
if I had the choice, like same G unit, but it said as long as you didn't get a marker this turn, it didn't say Thavis, I probably would have built like a pretty cool Maelstrom Stride deck or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Valios would have even been funner.
That would have been so cool. Because I also would have brought a lot of like flavor to just deck building in general. Because you could be like, what card was kind of shit before, not fast enough, that's going to be really good if you can just pump out 2 markers out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It changes the game, honestly.
Yeah, I know. It seems like there's always like an imbalance in the scales of like, it's too much attacking, so we have to add a Hanali or something.
Don't get me fucking started on Hanali.
Fuck that.
Don't get me started in the decks that can fucking toolbox Hanali, like Grand Blue.
You know what I'm saying, right?
My deck.
It's like, Excel, Hanali, and then it's like, and then there's like so much guarding. Oh, but then we raise the attacks, we make the trigger 10k. You know, it's like back and forth. It's kind of hard to balance the heck out of premium, but they're trying.
Yeah, they're trying, and I appreciate their strides for trying to make it work. Although they did lie about premium support once a year, my ass.
Not really.
But
we don't get real support.
Let's be honest. I mean, it was literally just reprint.
As long as they are fixing the format, I'm okay with not even getting support. The ban list needed to happen. And I just hope they continue to ban more problems.
Yeah, I mean, it is premium. You can add stuff from standard, so I mean, it's kind of like we're getting small support.
That's the whole other thing. I would be okay with not getting premium support if the cards from standard were like actually addable, but now everything takes energy that we don't have in premium.
Yeah, true. And that's another thing. There were certain points where like, oh cool, a card in standard works really well in premium. I like it when they mesh well. I don't like it when it's Reverence Rush Dragon levels of broken.
Yeah.
But now, even if there's like a cool card where I'm like, man, this would go great in some decks, you can't use it because they take energy, and that just kind of sucks. I mean, I don't know. I just want to give an example here. It would be absolutely busted as shit, but Majesty Lord Blaster and Premium with Blaster Blade the Vanguard coming out here soon. That'd be a really cool combo. Absolutely broken, shouldn't be allowed, but it would be a cool combo.
You know that still works.
It still works, but you can't use the card. Okay, I lied.
You just can't retire a rear guard.
It's not that. Okay, you literally are missing out on retiring a rear guard, which is kind of cool. It's still broken. People are still going to do it. But all I'm saying is that premium should have energy. What's it hurting to just give us an energy generator, for the love of God?
What's one more card in my deck box? At this point.
Yeah. You guys act like, we can't make the deck box bigger. I got like a 20 card extra deck. Just throw another fucking card in there. I can deal with it.
Yeah.
It's okay. I can do it. And on another note, it's kind of like linked to this idea in a sense. But you know how in standard the G zones aren't active unless you have those crests. There's no ability to stride unless you get that crest.
Right.
So, in the future, there's not even like a way to just have new decks stride without presenting like new crests for cards. So it's really hard to just introduce new decks that can stride that weren't a part of G. It'd be really cool to see new striders just come up out of nowhere.
That would be awesome, but we
standard.
will not get that.
And it's not going to happen because unless they do something where it's like when you ride to grade 1, you can get a crest that says you can get a G zone instead of an energy generator. Now that'd be different.
Yeah, but then every stride that we have is name restricted.
That's true. Every stride we have would be name restricted too. Yeah, I don't know. It's just right now we're in a format where like a lot of stuff doesn't seem to mesh. A lot of things are name restricted. A lot of things are restricted in general to just decks. And
are you referring to premium or standard?
Both. It's like the stuff in standard can't mesh with premium even if there weren't energy restrictions because so many things are name restricted.
Yeah.
And that also limits future decks from coming out and being like, oh, hey, I could use this cool old card. And like, but you can't because everything is name restricted. No, go ahead.
On the subject of name restriction, I can't tell if it's because they don't want to give the decks more support, but why are we getting cards where it's like if you have a Vanguard with Bastion or Alden, Eugene or Gandiva, why not just give them both a separate support card or just not name restrict the card at all?
And I was just about to say that exact same thing. I hate those cards because it feels lazy. It's like, oh, here's an ability that works cool in 2 decks, and it's name restricted to those 2 specific decks. And I really hate it because if one of those decks is meta and you play the shit one, you're not going to be able to afford that card.
No.
Because it's going to be like $18 because the good deck's running it.
That's literally what happened to Eugene.
Yeah.
Luckily, I bought 4 of that
because
one card.
Because Gandiva hoards out the other card.
Yeah.
Why does it hoard out? It's his card too.
Oh, yeah, well, fuck him.
Oh, yeah.
But still, and like, I just think that that's lazy design, just splitting them between 2 decks. And they're not stopping because they just announced they're doing 3 more in Festival Booster coming up this week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy, and I don't like that. It's lazy. I think it takes away the individuality of decks. It hikes up prices because then 2 different decks need the same card.
Speaking of hiked up prices, you know what we needed? Well, first of all, Fighters Collection. I love that every year, but we have Festival Booster now, which is just as good. But bring back Revival Collection. Holy shit, I've never seen cards. There shouldn't be rear guards that are more than $40. Like, what the fuck?
Bring back Revival Selection and the Premium Collection.
Y'all need to reprint, like, fucking Varga, Roxasha, Reze Elvita, Levy Drops Imperio, all of their important rear guards. Reprint every Dual Nation card. Reprint every Energy Cycler, Pride Cycler, every Regalis piece.
I really liked when we got, what was it? The Triple Drive Booster. It was basically a reprint set with 2 new decks introduced as well.
Hand to God, I could never play Youthberg without that set.
And I couldn't play Thegria until that set came out. It literally made a lot of decks we like playable, and I appreciate it. I even got cards for Aroa from that set I couldn't really afford too much before. And so I just think we need another really big reprint set. I would be okay if we didn't even get new cards in that at all. Just reprint all that expensive shit so that way the people who want to build new things can. Because right now, a lot of people can't even afford that damn Cerulean. Listen, I might contradict myself. It's not banned in every deck yet. I want to run it too. I can't afford it. But until it gets banned, I'd like to play it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like speaking of cards that like are very necessary, I don't remember it being this important to have them. But for some reason, it seems lately like your deck's nice, it's all good, but then they come out with a promo that really like makes the deck like
oh my god
10 times better, and then they're like $20 each.
They're kind of good with it. They'll release it as a promo and like 4 sets later reprint it in the set, but the price never goes down. It drops like $1 or $2.
To fill people in who are watching at home, here in the Naples area, Florida, where 3 to Pass is located, we don't have an OTS store, so we don't have access to promos. So I just had to spend $12 a piece on 4 of a Rotovisor promo. It's for fucking Rotovisor card. It shouldn't be $12 a piece.
Yeah, and I literally just spent 12 a piece on the Graham Grace promo that just came out. I got 3 copies of it. It is sold out everywhere online, and the one listing going now is $30, which is insane because it's not even that good. It's literally just a slightly less shit version of the card he already had. But it's $30.
At least they're reprinting the over triggers.
And while we're on
that was good. I liked that.
Yeah.
And
now throw the Regalis pieces in
while
there
we're
too.
on the topic of reprinting and triggers, how many times are we going to reprint the damn effect triggers for them to still not be affordable?
Why are they still,
Why can I still not afford effect triggers?
Now that is shame on all of you.
Yeah, that's a shame.
That's a shame on the secondary market. I can't fault Bushiroad for that one.
Secondary market. Those
let me.
Never
y'all
like $4.
Y'all might have to hold it. You know what really grinds my gears?
Gears?
Let me set the scene. Imagine loving a deck ever since you've gotten into Vanguard. Before Overdress, G era. My boy, Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom. My boy, Blaster Blade. I'm so excited. Blaster Blade Exceed the Legend deck. Admittedly, we were all premium fanboys until very recently. We didn't really get into Overdress. So if I had a deck in premium that I loved, there was no point in building it in Overdress. So I didn't build Majesty Lord Blaster. I didn't build Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom. Now we're into Overdress. It's our main format. Glory Maelstrom comes back. I really want to build the deck. Why the fuck? Why the actual fuck? Is a cross-ride card, the card that's supposed to go on top of the original Maelstrom. Why do you have to run 4 of the original Maelstrom as a rear guard? And why are you fuckers selling it for over $20 a piece? And I've always liked Alfred more than Majesty Lord Blaster. I think he looks cooler because he's a different guy. Why, the second that Alfred was revealed, why are you fuckers selling Blaster Blade with no skill revealed for Alfred yet for $100 a piece on TCG Player? Y'all need to respect yourself and respect the game.
And
thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Seriously, holy crap! Wait, I'm sorry. What card is $100?
You know how we watched that stream when they announced the new Alfred?
Yeah.
And we don't know his skill at all.
Wait, so this is a pre-order for $100?
Not that card.
Oh.
People think because it's Alfred that you're going to have to run Blaster Blade. So people are selling Blaster Blade. He's $30 a piece now.
Oh my
as soon as that card was revealed with no skill, that Blaster Blade hiked up to $100 a piece.
That's the thing about Vanguard, bro. It's like stocks, man. You never know what's going to go up.
You know what I always hate the most? And this dates back to long back. Blaster was a really fucking bad card. And he's only good because his name is Blaster Blade. He retires one fucking card. And I'm pretty sure he can't even do it for free unless he's placed on Vanguard.
I think the new one's like...
Based on Rear Guard, Counterblast 2, Retire Guard?
His old one, yes.
Yeah. It was Counterblast 2, Retire 1, then Exceed was Counterblast 1.
No, hold on. It wasn't even that good. It was like Counterblast 2, Retire a front row, grade 2 or greater Rear Guard.
Oh my God.
Really dog shit. And he got progressively less shit as the days went on. He's still shit, though. I'd say he's like a solid 1.5 out of 10. I wouldn't fucking even hit my car with that damn card. But he's only good because his name's fucking Blaster Blade. So you gotta be...
That's true. If Flogel could have stood any other card, if that Alfred Stride could have gave Twin Drive to any other rear guard, if that grade 2 Lou could have called out any other card from the deck.
Yeah.
Right.
And so now they're charging $100 for a piece of shit.
Blaster Blade, he had a Legion, right?
For a piece of shit.
Yeah,
he did have a Legion. We played Thing Saver. You know the reason Blaster Blade was in the deck? Because his name was Blaster Blade. It was the Legion
That's
name.
what I'm saying.
And I tried to run as little copies of him as possible, too. I hate that dumb bitch.
I actually think Blaster Blade is sick, but I will agree, he himself is not a good card. And I don't think he was ever meant to be. He was meant to gain power from his friends. But he himself still should not be scalped for $100 because the fucking king on the horse rides in and we don't have his skill revealed yet.
Speaking of gaining the power from his friends in Blaster Blade, while we were still near the tail end of being into Premium before we switched to Standard, I really wanted to build Messianic Lord Blaster. This is going to, like, coattail off the last thing. Why the fuck are y'all selling cards that aren't good for, like, $40 fucking dollars? Just because it has Blaster in the fucking name. I hate all of you people. Not all of you guys, but the market. You might be a part of it. But holy shit, I literally could not afford that deck because every single card that has the word Blaster in it is like $20. That's stupid. And I never built the deck.
It's funny because you'll be like, I'll be like, Tyler, why are you always so broke, man? And you'll be like, oh, well, because I buy all these cards. Because in about a month, they're going to go way up. So I need to buy them now.
That's basically how it is now.
This is how it is.
You gotta invest.
What's crazy is like the market holds and like they don't even care what the card does, bro. Like the new Youth Perk got revealed, and I see some of the older cards that don't mesh with the new one at all. Even if you do the full blast build being sold for $7 a piece, I'm like, you're literally selling a pile. Like I'm gonna say the card for Dolbrag, the one that soul blasts a revol form when he attacks to gain 10k.
Oh, yeah.
If you're playing the full blast build, why are you soul blasting the revol form? If you just want the revol form in the drop, soul blast it with the Persona Shield ticket guy. Why are you selling a heaping pile of fucking dog shit for $7? I bought 4 of that card, mind you, for like $1.50 before Skyfall Arms Rebuild got announced. And I still didn't want to run him.
I have one more thing to say about the market, and this is me just being a dumbass.
All right, before you say it, I don't really have a problem with it. Except
market?
for the promos. I mean, any deck that I play, I haven't...
Oh, okay.
No. I feel for y'all.
Okay.
But then think about it. Any deck I ever played, I mean, there's never really been a card that was, like, way too expensive for me. But then again, I play shit. I play Eugene, y'all.
Yeah,
It's
this is
easier
actually our
when
Barrow
you're-
Magnus main.
And Bar Magazine.
It's easier when you're playing into the deck as the new stuff comes out. But if you want to get into a deck you didn't already have stuff for, it's very hard.
But you can see why I'm mad, though. Like, I've always loved Maelstrom, but we didn't play Overdress, and now the new one comes out, and I want to play him, but I can't afford the old one because, my bad, I wasn't playing Overdress at set 7, and I didn't buy 4 of a card that was a fucking horrible deck.
It always reminds me of the meme where it's like, I'm sorry I was playing with toys at 3 and not buying real estate.
Yeah,
I looked at like some of
that was
like
my bad.
Yeah.
I looked on like some of the outer market like websites for Vanguard cards because they'll still show pre-order prices for cards that have already come out. All those maelstroms he needs for like on pre-order for like $1. Now they're like $20.
Oh my god.
But anyway, going back to my story real quick, I had a dream like maybe 3 or 4 years ago of wanting to build a jank-ass Link Joker deck, and I spent $30 a piece on 4 Freeze Ray Dragons, only for them to reprint that shit like a month later, and then my card dropped to like 5 cents.
Oh, that's another really bad one.
So,
where like you buy something for like $20+ and
maybe
it's like, oh, here it is.
Maybe if you guys are gonna reprint something, just fuck you.
Hey, I'm all for reprints. I'll never say no to reprints.
My cards they are not worth shit anymore. Those Freeze Ray Dragons, I actually put them in my binder earlier. I found them in my closet half bent. So, there's that. They're not bent anymore. I put them underneath a book. That like work. Anyway, though, what else do we have for the news dump?
For the news dump, we haven't talked about set 7 yet. Let's talk about the deck that's going to come in and completely crush the meta and make everyone want to cry. I don't know too much about this deck yet, so we'll read off the cards, but apparently this deck is topping every single tournament. There's like...
Is it Code Red Mountain Dew, or...?
People say he's bad, apparently. We'll talk about him too, but I'm talking about his Bob Sagra.
Oh, right. No.
So let's just read her skill. I don't know too much about her. And to give you an idea, she's topping so many tournaments that as soon as she came out, Bushiroad already banned one of her cards. Lord, he's banned now. Now, we didn't get that hit in English. It's only in Japan.
I just remember one of y'all saying that it's like... It's a really... I'm going to learn it whenever like Caleb goes through it. I'm going to learn just with him. But... I've also heard that there's not a lot of real good counterplay for her. Like, it just seems like there's no way to play around her. That's at least what I've heard. So, I mean, we'll figure out when he reads it.
From what I understand, she gets a crit and triple drive.
Here's her skill. She counts as the original Bob Sagra, so all of her old support still works. Once per turn, put a card from your hand into the soul. Choose an arms card from your drop and arm it. Which most of the broken ones, from what I remember, go to the drop after you use them, so that makes sense. If she's armed with 2 or more cards, which you usually are, Soul Blast 2, retire your opponent's front row. She gets a crit. If you didn't retire anything, draw a card. When she's armed, once per turn, which she will be because that's her first skill. So once per turn, let's just say that, Energy Charge 1, call a grade 1 or less from drop to rearguard. If you chose Lord, which is a card that just got banned in Japan, not in English, you may overdress it on Trick Moon instead of calling it to rearguard. Now
Energy Charge 1?
Energy Charge 1,
what the hell?
As in +1.
Free. That's free.
That's crazy whenever there's cards that do that. Like, you have that card, it's like counter charge 1, like activated ability. Or I feel like there's been cards like that before.
There's definitely...
There was a Stride that did that, I feel like I remember that.
Let's see if I can find a little bit more of her support. I think this is her new grade 2. No, it's a new rearguard. Sealed Blaze Dragon, I'm not even going to say his name. When it's placed on rearguard from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Sealed Blaze, so Bob Sagra's archetype, Energy Blast 3, discard an arms card, which, mind you, she can arm herself from the drop zone, so it's really not a cost. Draw 2 cards.
Wow.
So basically, Pot of Greed that you can attack with. If your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, it gets plus 5k. At the end of the battle, your Vanguard's Bob Sagra and its guardian attack. If your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, count +1 standard. So she's already a 5 attack deck.
Holy crap!
Shit.
So it is a card that you play it, discard 1 card that you can play from the drop, draw 2, and it can counter +1 and stand.
That's hand advantage.
Did Bob Sagra always call her arms from the drop zone?
There was a rear guard that could do it.
Oh.
Just right away, that's good. I want to read some of the new armed cards, 'cause I think that's what makes her really good.
Because I remember, Tyler, you were saying that the original ones were good, and you're like...
They were. There was one that dealt the damage and one that gave her a drive check.
That's
And there's like the shield that pretty much just blocks an attack. Here's one new armed card. It's a grade 3. It's a double R, so it should be kind of good. Sealed Blaze Sword Diava. It's saying you could put it on Bob Sagra. We already know that. Counterblast 1. When this card is armed on your Vanguard, choose your Vanguard and it gets the skill. Your front row gets plus 5k till the end of the turn. Which is already crazy. It's a mini Persona Ride. If you did Persona Ride, it's basically plus 15k to the front. Yeah. When her rear guards now stand. And when this unit armed with this card attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, you may have the unit get plus 1 drive until the end of the battle. If you do, at the end of the turn, put this card into the drop. Mind you, she can arm herself from the drop every turn.
Wow, that's crazy.
So this might be a stupid question, but how many arms can Bob Sagra have?
One on the left and one on the right. So a sword and a shield.
Okay. Hopefully don't start having legs.
That one was a right-armed one. Let's see what else she might have, because I know I think she got one more armed card probably. I'd assume she got.
Are you telling me there's ones that are specific to each arm?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Oh, does she lose them at the end of the turn, or does she keep them going into your turn?
Well, she loses that one if you give it the drive, but her first ability, she can play one from her drop to arm it.
They usually have an ability that put themselves into the drop.
Oh, okay.
Which she can just play from.
And she can play them right back.
Yeah.
Next turn. Damn.
They reprinted all the overtriggers in the set, which is good.
I do appreciate the fact that all the overtriggers got reprinted.
That makes me happy. Perhaps she didn't get a shield in this set. If she did, I don't see it in this set list.
Oh, I don't know if it was also announced
here it is.
today or the day. Oh, go ahead, Caleb.
Oh, okay. This is her shield, so it goes in her left hand. This is stupid. Counterblast 1, when she's armed, draw a card. So you already draw again.
Wow.
And when the unit armed with this card is attacked, so basically when your Vanguard's attacked, give your Vanguard plus 10k, or Soul Blast 1, and it gets plus 20k instead, and that's once per turn. And that one doesn't even go to the drop.
Wow.
I will admit, it's too bad that it's like super meta and it's topping everywhere. But the way that they play seems fun. It seems cool, like you're arming your unit with like a build.
What was the deck I really want to build in Buddy Fight? Right, Horus. It reminds me of Horus.
It does remind me of Horus.
Or Silhouette, a little bit.
Who's that?
Stay tuned. Now, what were you going to say, Don?
Spaceman. Now he is armed.
Spaceman.
Silhouette.
Spaceman.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't know if it was today or the day before or the day before that, but they announced like they were reprinting the Dual Nation cards.
Ooh.
Oh, they did in Festival Booster, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That's another time to talk.
We're definitely going to open up those boxes.
Yeah, I bought 5 of them.
Yeah.
You bought 5 of them before we knew they were getting reprinted.
That's true. I bought 5 before.
We were worried because the set was really shit so far.
Tyler had faith in it.
I didn't have faith. As soon as they showed Alfred, I got fucking scared.
Okay, so that's one new archetype in the set, which is already topping like every event. So we know she's going to be broken. That's going to be a money card. Now we're also getting Vice Ruger as well.
That's my boy.
Which, Tyler, I know you probably want to talk a little bit on this.
The Mountain Dew monster. Hell yeah.
Mountain Dew Code Red. Do you want me to read his skill first? Do you have any words you want to say?
I can tell you his skill.
Tell me his skill, bro.
What is it?
Let's see if you can get it right.
His ability is like Soul Blast 2, activate the Moon Gate in your order zone without paying its cost, which is good because the Moon Gate looks at like the top 5 and it like puts 2 of the mythish cards.
Mythish.
It takes 2 mythish cards and puts them into the order zone face up, which deck thins by itself. And then Vice Ruger's ability is like after he attack. No, I think it's when he attacks. It's like Counterblast 1. Call 2 mythish cards from the order zone into the same column. And I believe those cards themselves get boost. So it's not that big of a deal because then both those cards get like a certain amount of power, and then it makes a really big column. Plus the new card he got that's coming out in a set after that can attack from the back row, so then both of those can attack. So he becomes a 5-attack deck. But then on top of that, anytime you play a Mythish card from your hand to the Guardian Circle, you can put another Mythish card from your drop onto the bottom of your deck, and that card you're guarding with gets 5k shield. So all of your cards are 10k shields. So you're guarding really well pretty much the whole game because the entire deck is Mythish. And you're filtering because the order is going to remove like 4 from your deck a turn because it's going to activate on its own, and then Vice Ruger is going to activate it himself with the Soul Blast 2. So you're getting 4 cards that aren't triggers out of your deck each turn. And you
I was actually reading the Moongate. The Moongate actually picks 3 Mythish cards instead of 2.
That's even better.
Oh my god.
That's even
Vice
better.
Ruger gives your front row +5 when you call the 2 Mythos to the same column, and you already talked about the Guardian.
Yeah, so think about this. You're getting 3 cards out of your deck twice. And on top of that, you don't even need to call them. You can just keep thinning them out of the deck and leaving triggers in your deck until you want to call them. And then if they're there, if you do want to put them back, you put them back when you guard, and they just go to the bottom of the deck for extra shield.
Wow.
It's like a thinning machine. I think the people who are saying it's bad never played Gold Paladin. All I'm going to say, listen, back in the day, you did shit until your deck had nothing but triggers. And this is what it feels like to me. Because he not only does he superior call from the order zone though this time, he's just thinning so many cards, and then he could put them back to the bottom just like Gold Paladin. And I know that's a really weird comparison, but that's kind of the vibe he gives me, and I just think the deck looks like a lot of fun. I'm really excited for it. I haven't been that excited for a deck in like a while, so I'm really happy to play Vice Ruger.
That's great. I'm happy you like it.
To give you an idea, let me see if I can find his ride line here.
He's like, Tyler, everything you just said was bullshit.
Here's a ride line. The grade 1 was placed by riding from the grade 0. Reveal a Vice Ruger from the ride deck. Search your deck or hand for a Moon Gate, which is the order. You can only run one of them.
Hey!
Put it in the order zone, and if you search the deck shuffle, if you put it from the hand, draw. So even if you hard draw it, it's not bad.
Can I also just say, it thins one card straight out of your deck, too.
That's great.
That's one less card that's not a trigger out of the deck.
The grade 2 in the ride line, when it's placed by riding from the grade 1, look at the top 7, choose 2 Mythish cards, choose one, put it to the hand, and put the other one to the order zone. So you get one to guard with later, and then one to put there.
Look at that. You're
already thinned again.
On your first grade 3 turn, you're thinning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards out of your deck that's not a trigger.
Now, to really talk about Vice Ruger, we do need to talk about the actual Mythish card. Of course, because that's the card that all
the 2 that are out.
There's 2 that are out. I think did he already get one in set 8, or is he gonna get one?
He got one in set 8. That's the one that attacks from the back row. He also got an order in set 8.
Okay. Oh, he has an order in this set too. I think we need to talk
His
about.
order's actually pretty good.
But first we'll talk about the Mythish cards that he has here. Let me pull them on up. Here's the first one. This is the grade 2, the Eagle. So it's a 10k. Of course, it can intercept as 5k shield. This one has 2 effects. If you have a grade 3 or greater with Vice Ruger, it can boost, just always.
Yeah, so when you call that column with 2 of them in there, it's a big column.
And its other effect is you can run 16 of it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait, is this the bird?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Running 16 of it, and you just thin them all out of the deck. There's nothing but triggers left.
They can boost, they can intercept, they're 10k shields. It's actually pretty good.
It is.
Now, he has one other Mythish. I don't think you can run 16 of this one. Let me find the card.
It's only 4.
But I remember it being better. It was
I can tell you what it does.
I should have it here.
Okay. I'll let you read
This
it.
one's the wolf. I'll call it a wolf.
It's good control.
When it's placed on rearguard, if you have Vice Ruger until the end of the turn, when it attacks, choose an opponent's front row rearguard, and it battles that unit and the Vanguard.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I like that ability.
And when it attacks, if you have the Moon Gate, which you always do, it gets plus 5k, and then you can counterblast 1 or energy blast 3 to draw a card.
It's so good.
If I'm being honest, that is an ability that, like, I am proud of Bushy Road for making. Because, like, that's cool.
I love different shit that's not just attack, stay, and attack.
Exactly. I like, it's like a mini, what was it?
What is it?
Brawler.
Vermilion?
They both did it. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
They both do it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need to retire because it's kind of like a semi-retire in a way because you're swinging at that rear guard.
I like that. Are there a lot of, like, one attack hitting several units in the
I know
standard?
Vermilion still does the same thing.
Oh, right, duh. He was a...
But beside him...
There's also like a variation of that effect I always liked. It's definitely worse, but I always like the one where it's like, when this unit... I don't know if there's any in standard, but when this unit attacks, your opponent has to intercept with, like, whatever they can. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely just a worse version of that, but I always thought effects like that
I
were
don't
cool.
hate that.
I don't remember.
I don't think there's any in standard. I know there's some in premium because
I
every
don't
card.
remember
but
what deck it was I played, but there was one card.
You played one in Leonore Premium.
Oh yeah. Leonore has one where, like, when it boosts, you choose one of your opponent's units and move it to the Guardian Circle. So it's kind of like retiring it, kind of.
Kind of. Yeah.
But it's not even broken because you're still getting shield out of it.
Yeah, it's just a good.
just
way.
like-
This is a great 3.
It's
It's a
just a
unique way to
fair
kill a
card
unit.
with a cool interaction.
Yeah, it's a unique way to kill a unit still. And I like it. It's fair and it's fun for everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back on that topic, those are basically Vice Ruger's only cards you need to talk about. It's just such a... I think it's going to be the sleeper deck from hell. No one's going to... Everybody's just pushing it aside because Bob Sager's coming out in the same set. And I don't think they appreciate the value that he just brings to the table. They don't realize how strong deck thinning is. And he's like a deck thinning machine. He's just going to mill so many cards out of his deck into the order zone to where he's going to be hitting triggers after triggers. And
worst case scenario, you drive a myth or you drive check mythish cards. There's still 10k shields.
Yeah, you're still drive checking a 10k shield regardless. So it's like you're not even going to be like, oh damn, now I can't guard. You could still guard on your turn. There's a little bit less.
Wait, what's the grade of the bird?
2.
And he just has a 10k shield.
He's a 5k shield, but every mythish card, when you guard with it, you could put one from the drop to the bottom and give it 5k shield.
Oh,
yeah. It's really good.
Is it grade 2? You can run 16 of it.
Oh, so you almost never deck out with that deck?
No, you could just keep putting your cards back.
Wow.
But the thing is, you could thin it out until it's mostly triggers, and then if you feel like you're going to deck out, just start putting your cards back.
The thing is, he doesn't put it back and shuffle. He just puts it to the bottom.
Yeah, it goes to the bottom. So all those triggers you've left are going to be on the top of the deck still.
Unless you do his Moongate skill to shuffle.
Yeah.
That's different. But, you should be smart enough to, if you're at the end of the game and your triggers are all, and you put all on the bottom, you just leave the triggers on top.
Yeah. It's just a lot of interactions that I think are really cool and unique for Bob Saga. Or not Bob Saga. What if they came out with their one, Vice Ruger?
What if they came out with their Gallius piece where it was like, play it, your opponent shovels his deck?
That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Like a Blitz.
Or just like, wait, wasn't there a deck in Standard, it was Link Joker, I think, where it was like, your opponent shuffles his hand back in and draws 5.
Talking about the Messiah Stride.
Yeah, that's my most hated card in all of Vanguard.
That could be a Vocalius piece.
That card is really good.
That's my most hated card. Not to go on a bitch rant here, but it's my most hated card in all of Vanguard because no matter how well you play the game and how good you are at Vanguard, there's absolutely no counterplay because you just shuffle your hand in the deck and randomly draw 5. There's no possible way you can counterplay that card.
It basically comes down to who draws the better 5 cards.
Exactly. Yeah, but the thing is, you're drawing 5 cards on your turn. I'm drawing 5 cards on your turn, and you still have 1, 2, 3, and I think he unlocks the field 5 attacks. 4 to 5. And I'm at 5 damage and I don't draw a perfect card. How's that fair?
It's not.
It's fun.
If I was playing a game to where it's a close game, but I still have 8 cards in hand. I saved a couple G guards, some perfect guards, and you stride that card, and I draw 5k shields. And what did I do wrong there, or was it just me drawing bad? I don't like that card. I never will. But
I love that card.
I digress.
It also doesn't have a cost.
You should have said I love that card, and I always will.
It doesn't have a cost to do it either. You just stride it, and it does it automatically.
You first turn stride that one?
No, you have
it's GB3.
It's not even GB3. You have to have 3 face up in the G zone, so it doesn't even count itself on the Vanguard.
So just G guard.
So it's like your 3rd stride. You always want to do the same combo. You want to do History Collection into what the fuck's the one that Transal's Messiah, the one that dude that completely locks their board, and then you want to go into that guy, which is Integral Messiah.
Now, in this set, back to Standard, we are also getting the Persona Shield ticket cards. How do you guys feel about those?
Persona Shield ticket cards. As a Lascaria player, I really like them because it gives Lascaria a little bit of flavor for her grade 2 turn that she didn't have before. It's a bit more to guard with. It's a not so bad unit. They get 5k power. So it's a 15k attacker and you're getting a little bit of shield to your hand. But I also really like the fact that it lets you play an additional Blitz order that turn. I don't remember the sequence behind it. It was I remember. With Lascaria, you can play the Persona Shield ticket first. And
can you read off one if you don't mind me asking?
The Persona Shield ticket? Yeah,
with Lascaria, you could play the Persona Shield ticket first, guard their first weak rear guard attack, draw a card because it was a Blitz order. But that Persona Shield ticket lets you play a second Blitz order. But after that, it doesn't matter because the Blitz order that Lascaria uses lets you keep playing one more each time you play it. So you use the Persona Shield ticket, guard, and then use her order. So it adds another shield to guard with to the chain of
So
guarding.
here's what the Persona Shield ticket does. It's a choose a unit being attacked that gets plus 10k, so it's a 10k shield. And you can play up to 2 Blitz orders on the turn. So if you're playing a normal deck, you can play 1 more Blitz order or 1 more Persona Shield. Now, Lascaria, if you play her Blitz order after, you can just keep playing more because that's what her card does. Now, if your opponent's Crest Zone has a card other than Energy Generator, meaning if they're playing a Stride deck, these Persona Shields are 15k shields instead of 10k shields.
I didn't even know that.
That's and they just have one other effect, and it's just you cannot discard them for anything other than guarding with them. You can't discard them for perfect guards or to ride deck with.
And how do you add them to your hand?
I'm glad you asked, Dylan. We have new cards that the community has dubbed Pride Cyclers. Much like Energy Cyclers, Pride being that they all have rainbows in the background.
Right.
Their skill is when they're placed on rearguard from hand, other than by a unit's ability. So sorry, Alden. Or discarded from hand while riding from the ride deck, which is really good. Choose a card with Persona Ride from your ride deck and reveal it. Or if you have a Vanguard that already has Persona Ride, those two conditions. Then Soul Blast one and get the ticket. So if your deck if it has extra soul, you just run it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm running
so
4
ideally,
and run it.
okay. All right. So yeah, ideally. So if you have like a soul issue, it might not be the best.
If you have a soul issue, I wouldn't say run it.
I would say if you have a soul issue, run the energy cycler. If you have an energy issue, run the soul cycler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
Or the pride cycler.
Pride cycler, yeah.
That's a good idea, yeah.
I think I like the idea of them adding tokens to the game and markers. I think that's kind of cool, like outside the game stuff.
That's kind of.
I was so surprised when they made that card. I'll tell you that. I remember we were all sitting around. Like I think you stayed over that night, Dylan. We were all sitting around the table, like playing Vanguard, and we're like, "Oh shoot, new card!"
Mm-hmm.
Like they have Quick Shield and Standard, but it wasn't a. Quick
Oh
Shield,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, it was very different. But I appreciate that they are making new things in the game, and it's nice. You know, I like them. I think running them at like a 3 of is good. If your deck can use the soul, you run them at 3 if you got the space. That's my opinion.
Yeah, because I mean, let's be honest. The same problems with these energy cyclers. I mean, I play Wellstra, and I'm like, don't need it because it will totally jank the deck up.
Yeah.
And then I don't really need them in Soul Rhydon either. It's whatever. But you know, if it's needed, it's helpful. And if it's not needed, it's not helpful.
It's nice to have the option.
Yeah, it's a good option.
If you have a few extra slots in your deck, just throw it in there.
You should definitely just buy 4 because they're going to go up to $80.
Oh, of course.
Probably, yeah. Buy 4 of them.
Buy 4 for your main nation.
I already bought 4.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have 4 for Brantgate coming in my split, and then I bought 3 for Stoicheia for Lascaria. So.
Oh, cool.
I would have bought 4 for Lascaria. Now that's going to be a sleeper deck once those cards come out.
You know, you could get away with doing 3 because I'm doing a 3/3 split of that card, and then the other one that after attacks it binds itself and searches for a Blitz Order. It's kind of the same thing. You're still getting the Blitz Order.
Look forward to Tyler's deck profile.
Yeah, I wanted to do one already, but I'm like, there's no point when I'm just going to redo this after 2 sets.
Yeah.
That's why there's no long form Youth Brick profile on the channel. We only have the short version because he's going to get new cards.
You're right. You're right.
What time are we at?
We're at 1 hour and 6 minutes. I would say, aside from Hound Raisers, which isn't doing anything in the meta, that's everything in set 7. Bofsagra, Vice Ruger, and then the Persona Shield tickets. That's mostly it. We talked about the ban list. We talked about a little bit of a rant about the secondary market. Shame on all of you. Does anyone have any final closing thoughts for the first episode of the 3 to Pass podcast? 3 to Pass After Dark.
Are this not really like the only star units in set 7?
I mean, there's Hound Raisers, Vice Ruger, Bofsagra,
Argo Sirens.
Argo Sirens, but they're not doing anything.
Oh wow, yeah. I guess that is
That's it.
Wow, that's lame. But Vice Ruger gonna be cool.
There's a pretty good reprint set. Like I said, they reprinted all the over-triggers.
Yeah. They also reprinted the effect triggers again.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I'll have effect triggers for Brentgate in my split. Thank goodness.
Wait, they reprinted effect triggers in this set?
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Not all of them. There was one.
Shit!
I think the fronts didn't get reprinted.
The most important one.
I think the draws and the crits did.
Alright!
Honestly, I could do without the crit. There's so few decks that need those crits.
Oh, you know what's so good, bro? Fronts are so good because you get the ones that go to the soul and the ones that get the plus.
Oh, can we just take a moment to say I love those?
I do too!
I think the fronts that go to the soul are one of the best gifts they've given us in Vanguard yet so far.
I think those cards are bad, but I guess I don't play a deck
They're
that needs them.
great resource management for decks that just don't care to run the other triggers.
And you don't necessarily, well, obviously you want to run a crit, but I mean, you can survive having only 2.
Because I'm running 3 of those that go to the soul and the Lascaria because with the Persona Shield ticket and then her new grade 2.
No, that makes sense.
I'm running 3 of that.
Oh, true. That
So,
does make sense.
It's just good soul management. And
Yeah.
then I'm running it in Vice Ruger, obviously, because you're soul blasting 2 every turn.
Right.
So you need it for him. He needs all the soul he can get. So I'm also running the crits that go into the soul, and you do the little boosty in the booty there. But yeah, that's my words.
Oh my God! There's someone we forgot to. How did I forget? Hang on, let me pull it up. We could just talk about it. How do you guys feel about Locke being in standard? I knew there was one other card in this side that we forgot about.
About the dumb. What's her name? Super Mega Sonophonic.
I don't even know her name. I forgot about her until I was looking through the set. I was like, why did they reprint the Shadow Army token?
Yeah, it's the dumb bit. Listen, you heard me talking about it earlier. I was an avid Messiah player.
Artisaria, that's her name. Oh my God, I completely forgot about her.
They fucked Locke for Messiah for all eternity because the order, or the crest itself, takes away the lock. And it makes it to where they can just have a field. And what do? They gave it to a damn mermaid. Fuck that deck.
She should have just been a Brandgate card. She just didn't look like a lyrical card.
They had to give all the pedophiles and child molesters something.
They had to make at least one cool lyrical deck.
Yeah. Oh boy. I'm glad that some people are saying that deck sucks because that makes me happy. Fuck that deck.
I'm impartial. I really don't care.
I don't want Locke to really take over. I mean, let's be honest. Eventually, we're getting Chaos Breaker back.
I thought they were saying, though, that her lock ability is, like, not even that broken. Like, I know Locke's annoying to get around,
Locking just one rear guard is so powerful in this format where you rely on your columns to do extra attacks outside of a cell markers not being a thing.
Maybe it'll balance the format.
No, we are getting more 5-attack decks. Like, if she were to fight Youth Burke Exists, he'd still be 4 attacks. In the anime, she fought Magnolia and lost because Magnolia can attack from the back. I feel like if she were to fight Levidross, she'd probably still lose because Levidross can attack from the back.
Varga just attacks from the Vanguard circle.
Just off the back row.
Also, Varga retires his whole front row already. Levidross retires his own card. Rezael Kadwala has his own card.
I'll say...
So all the best decks don't even leave you a field to retire.
Do you mind, Caleb, reading her ability?
It's not her. Do you want to read the card that locks? Is that what you want? Because she doesn't lock anything. It's her order.
Yeah, do what you want.
In our meta, she's very bad, but all she's doing is sizing up for them to do a Chaos Breaker and counter deck.
I think it's...
And that's going to be hell, like every time he comes back.
No, it's not this
when they announce it, they're going to be like, are you guys surprised?
There's like the bringing of the fucking dawn. It's Crojet, Chaos Breaker, and the Ward. When you start seeing those guys, you know it's over with.
Yeah.
We're set for
Cheranui at some points.
I was looking under Brantgate orders, but she's a lyrical card. I will never...
Yeah, she's a lyrical card that makes Brantgate tokens. Well, they're not Brantgate tokens, but
I think
Shadow Army
it's this one that locks here. Is this one? Yeah, Mega Romania. So this card cannot be played, and it cannot be put into the order zone other than by the ability of Artisaria. When it's put into your order zone, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and lock it. Now, Artisaria, the way she locks the card, or places the order... Energy Blast 2, choose a sound system from hand or draw, put it in the order zone. If you put it from hand, draw a card. And she can only do that once per turn. Her other skill, when she attacks, Counterblast 1, call a Shadow Army token for each of those sound systems in your order zone. And your front row gets plus 5k for every 2. So she can only lock 1 card per turn.
That's still very strong. But not in the meta we're in where everything gets rid of itself.
Like, she's a very good gatekeeper deck. Like, if you play against her at a BCS or something and you're not playing, like, Rezael, Levidross, Varga, she will beat you and prevent you from topping. But if you play against her with one of those 3 decks, then they'll just run right over it.
Right.
Now, not to say that the deck that would lose to her can't beat those 3 decks, but she's going to gatekeep you from getting there.
Yeah.
Sure.
I agree with that.
That is a good way to put it, for sure.
She a gatekeeper deck.
She's going to take out those anti-meta decks. And she might even be... I wouldn't say she's anti-meta, because the meta we have kind of just crushes her.
Yeah.
She's a gatekeeper.
Well, I don't think it's going to be that long before she gets a card that actually makes her like meta.
If anything, she's going to be really toxic for the tournaments coming up, because she's going to be such a gatekeeping deck that it's going to lean people away from playing anything that's just not those top 3, and it's just going to fill the entirety of the tournaments with more Levidross, more Rezael, more Varga, Because they're going to be like, oh, I don't want to play a deck. My card's going to get locked.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to be playing the same shit.
It sucks being a professional Vanguard player. I'm not, but I'm just saying it must suck.
Yeah, sucks for y'all.
And playing a deck that you like.
That sucks for me.
There's no way that'll ever be a working thing.
Yeah, you kind of just have to play whatever's good or counters the meta.
I know. I hate whenever I notice, like, whenever the person's like, I have to play this meta deck because I want to win, but I hate myself.
Literally everybody we know.
Me when I open the Levy Draw stack box.
People at our local card shop be like,
whoa, cut it.
kidding, I love y'all.
Alright, guys. Thanks for checking out the first episode of the 3 to Pass podcast. 3 to Pass After Dark, whatever we're going to call it. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.